Hey everyone, welcome back to another deep dive. It seems you've been spending some time looking into Solana lately.
Yeah.
And, well, yeah, with good reason. The price action has been a little crazy.
Yeah.
So, you've brought some articles about where SOL might be headed. We've got this potential ETF approval coming up, which is exciting, but there are also some rumblings of a serious downturn. So, what do you think? What's the real story? Will SOL bounce back? Or is it headed for a deeper dive?
It's a tough one,
Mhm.
you know? It's kind of a mystery.
Yeah.
And like any good mystery, we got to look at the clues.
Okay.
So let's start with those technical indicators,
All right.
which are looking kind of bearish right now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay, so let's put on our detective hats here.
Uh-huh.
What's the first clue that you see?
Well, one of the articles you shared points out this descending triangle pattern
Yeah.
that Solana has been forming. Like imagine two lines on a chart.
Yeah.
The top line is the resistance and it's flat,
Got it.
while the bottom line, the support, is sloping downward.
Oh.
And SOL's price has been bouncing between these lines.
Yeah.
But each bounce, it gets weaker and weaker.
So like a ball losing momentum.
It's trapped in this narrowing space, and with each bounce, it gets closer and closer to breaking down.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And that breakdown could be bad news.
Yeah.
The MB crypto article we have here suggests that if the support at 191.1 breaks,
Right?
we could see SOL dropping all the way to $138.
Whoa. That's a big drop.
Yeah.
I can see why you used the word plummeting there. What else is pointing to this potential downfall?
Well, the Cumulative Volume Delta, or CVD, is another clue.
Okay.
Think of it as like a popularity contest, you know?
Yeah.
The CVD measures the difference between buying and selling volume over time.
Okay.
And right now it's showing way more selling than buying,
Oh, wow.
which suggests people are losing faith in Solana. At least for now, anyway. You really have to wonder why.
Yeah, so it's like everyone's leaving Solana's party,
Right.
but crowds are so fickle.
Yeah, they are. Maybe there's something bigger going on.
Could be.
Are there any, like, fundamental issues with Solana itself that could be driving the sell-off?
That's a good question. It's important to look past just the technical stuff.
Right.
One thing to think about is the recent surge in Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin's market share goes up,
Yeah.
it tends to put pressure on altcoins like Solana.
Oh, so it's like a seesaw.
Kind of.
Bitcoin goes up and everything else has to go down.
Yeah, but it might not be that straightforward.
Right, Bitcoin going up doesn't automatically mean that altcoins have to suffer, right?
You're right. It's not always that simple.
Yeah.
There are other things going on like overall market sentiment,
Mm-hmm.
and each coin has its own strengths and weaknesses.
Right.
But in this case,
Yeah.
Bitcoin's dominance is definitely something to consider when you're looking at Solana's performance.
Yeah.
It could be adding to all this negative sentiment.
Okay. So we've got this descending triangle pattern, the declining CVD, and Bitcoin is just kind of looming over everything. Are there any other warning signs to be aware of?
One more important indicator is what's called the funding rates,
Okay.
which basically tells us how much traders are willing to pay to bet on Solana's price.
Interesting.
Like imagine two groups betting on a horse race.
Okay.
If more people bet on one horse, the odds shift.
Right. So,
And the people betting on the other horse have to pay more. That extra they pay is like the funding rate.
Got it.
And right now, the funding rates for Solana are negative,
Oh, no.
which means more people are betting that the price will go down.
So it's not just that people are selling, they're actively betting against it.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
But, even the best detectives can miss a clue.
Uh-huh. That's true.
Is there anything we might be overlooking here?
Well, there is one thing that could change the game
Okay.
that we haven't talked about yet.
Yeah.
The Solana ETF.
Right.
The article mentions an 85% chance of approval.
Wow.
And if that happens, it could bring a ton of institutional money into Solana.
Yeah, that could be huge.
Right. Institutional investors often bring stability and legitimacy to an asset,
Right.
which could really change the way people think about Solana.
Right. So how would an ETF approval play with all these negative signals we've been talking about? Would it be enough to turn things around?
That's the big question, isn't it? While an ETF could definitely boost Solana's long-term prospects,
Yeah.
you have to remember that even institutional money can't completely ignore market sentiment and all those technical indicators.
Right.
They all play a role.
It's kind of like we're watching this tug of war
Yeah.
with all these bearish signs dragging Solana down on one side
Yeah.
and this potential ETF approval pulling it up on the other.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see which one wins out.
Yeah, for sure.
But before we get too caught up in the whole ETF hype,
Okay.
Let's zoom out a little.
Sure.
Where does Solana even fit in the bigger picture of crypto?
Hmm.
How does it stack up against its competitors?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Solana isn't in this alone. It's going up against other layer 1 blockchains,
Oh.
especially Ethereum for
Ah.
like dominance in the decentralized finance or DeFi
Right.
and NFT spaces.
So it's like a race to be the main platform for building all these new decentralized applications.
Exactly.
What are Solana's strengths and weaknesses in this race? What sets it apart?
Well, Solana is known for its speed,
Okay.
high transaction speeds,
Uh-huh.
and low fees.
Got it.
It can process thousands of transactions per second.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, so that makes it really attractive to developers and users,
Right.
especially those who are tired of Ethereum's congestion and those high gas fees.
So it's like the speedster of the blockchain world.
Oh, yeah.
Fast, efficient, and cost effective.
Yeah,
But what about the downsides? Every superhero has their kryptonite.
true.
What's Solana's?
I'd say Solana's weakness is that it's relatively young
Okay.
and kind of centralized.
Mm.
It's a newer blockchain compared to Ethereum,
Yeah.
and its network is still more centralized,
Hmm.
which makes people worry about security and censorship resistance.
Interesting. So speed and efficiency are great, but
Yep.
there are still some questions about its long-term stability and resilience.
Exactly.
Seems like a trade-off between being innovative and having that established security.
Mm-hmm.
But let's not forget about the human factor here.
Right.
Crypto markets are known to be influenced by emotions.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
The fear of missing out, FOMO,
Yes.
can drive prices way up
Uh-huh.
just as easily as fear can make them crash down.
Yeah, we saw this in the last bull market
Yeah.
when Solana's price was skyrocketing,
It was crazy.
fueled by all that hype and excitement around the tech.
For sure.
FOMO is a powerful thing.
It is.
It's like this herd mentality.
Mm.
People see others making money and jump on board
Yeah,
without even really understanding what's going on underneath.
right.
Then when things turn,
No.
that same herd mentality can lead to panic selling and even bigger crashes.
Exactly.
Which is why it's so important to be level-headed
Definitely.
when investing in crypto.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Understand the risks.
Uh-huh.
And don't let your emotions make the decisions for you.
Solid advice. It's easy to get caught up in all the excitement,
Oh, yeah.
but it's key to remember that crypto is volatile.
For sure.
So for someone who's been really following Solana, what are the key takeaways from all this? What should they be watching for in the coming weeks?
I would say, first off, keep an eye on those technical indicators we talked about.
Yeah.
The descending triangle, the declining CVD, and those negative funding rates.
Okay.
Those are really giving us a real-time look at market sentiment.
Right.
And they aren't looking too good right now.
It's like checking a patient's vital signs.
Yeah.
And Solana is looking a little rough.
A little bit.
But you did mention that potential ETF approval as something that could change things up.
It could.
How should people be thinking about that?
The ETF is a big unknown
Yeah.
if it's approved. It could bring a lot of confidence and liquidity to Solana.
Right.
But even if it's approved,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that all those concerns we've talked about will just disappear.
So we wait and see,
Pretty much.
but we wait informed.
Exactly.
Our listener needs to stay alert,
Keep watching.
watch those indicators, and be ready to adapt
Mhm.
as things develop.
Being flexible is key in crypto.
Okay, so we've covered a lot here.
Yeah.
We've talked about the technical outlook for Solana. It's talked about the potential impact of an ETF
Right.
and how market psychology plays into everything.
Yeah.
But what if someone wants to look beyond just Solana?
Okay.
Are there any other cryptocurrencies that are showing different signals, maybe some more positive ones?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it brings up a really important point. Diversification.
Okay.
You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. Even if it's the most high-tech basket out there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like, don't bet the whole farm on one horse. So if someone is looking to branch out a bit in crypto, where should they be looking? What other parts of the market are looking good right now?
Well, a few areas are interesting to me.
Okay.
One is the layer 2 scaling solutions for Ethereum.
Okay.
These are platforms that are built on top of Ethereum
Mm-hmm.
that are trying to improve its scalability and lower those transaction fees.
So they're basically trying to solve the same problems as Solana,
Right.
but by building on what Ethereum already has.
Exactly. They're like express lanes on a highway.
Oh, I like that analogy.
Yeah, just helping to ease up that congestion.
That's clever. Are there any specific Layer 2 projects that you think are worth looking into?
There are a few that look really promising.
Okay.
Like Polygon has seen a lot of adoption.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Yeah, and it's attracting a ton of developer activity.
Cool.
Optimism and Arbitrum are also making some noise with their own unique approaches to scaling.
Interesting.
They're all worth checking out for someone who's interested in the Ethereum ecosystem.
Okay, so layer 2s are on the radar. What else? Any other sectors sending out those buy signals?
Another area I'm keeping an eye on is decentralized finance, or DeFi.
Oh, yeah. DeFi is huge.
It's trying to recreate all those traditional financial services like lending, borrowing, and trading, but on a decentralized blockchain.
Yeah, it's like building a whole new financial system from scratch.
Right. It's still early.
Yeah.
But the innovation in DeFi is incredible.
It is really exciting, but it can also be pretty complicated and risky.
Yeah,
right?
definitely. DeFi can be complex,
Uh-huh.
and there are always risks.
Right.
But for those who are willing to put in the time to learn and really understand the technology,
Okay.
there are some really cool opportunities.
So for our listener who's looking for a little more adventure
Yeah.
and is comfortable with maybe a bit more risk, DeFi could be a good place to explore.
It could.
Any final words of wisdom for our crypto adventurer out there?
I'd say this: the crypto market is constantly changing.
It really is.
What's down today could be up tomorrow.
That's the truth.
The key is to stay informed.
Yeah.
Do your research.
Always.
And never stop learning.
Great advice. Curiosity is key in this space. To our listener, we challenge you to take what we've talked about today, about Solana, and use it in your own research.
Yeah, go explore.
And discover all the amazing opportunities out there in the world of crypto.
It's a wild world out there.
It is. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Solana.
Thanks, everyone.